Hi, my name is Jason Radford, and today I'm going to show you how to create experiments in class or for your class using Sage Research Method's new Experiments section. So you log into Sage Research Methods here at the bottom. You can select Conduct Studies Online. This is going to take you to our new pilot program with Sage and Volunteer Science. So click on it. You land here on the Volunteer Science website as a part of our Sage Labs. You log in. I've already created a login, so I'm just going to do mine. This is my example account. Oops, wrong one. There we go. I can't remember my password. Okay, there we go. Bam, you've got your lab page. If you're just logging on for the first time, this is what you see. If you're logging on for the 10th time, this is what you see. I have a list of studies that I've just created as examples. But here you can see the 3 studies that we're starting with here in our pilot program. The first is the lexical decision task, which is a very common task in linguistics and cognitive psychology about language acquisition and how people process words and strings. The second one is a pre-post test, which is a very general experiment where you ask people a set of questions and then you give them a random stimuli, and then you ask them follow-up questions about that stimuli and how they respond to it. And lastly, we have Wildcat Wells, which is more of a sort of business school decision-making, problem-solving kind of experiment where you're in a group or a simulated group of people looking to maximize the amount of well that you're able to, or maximize the amount of oil that you're able to drill in this map. So that's the basic layout. There's a tutorial section here so that you can learn the basics from creating an experiment, cloning something that you've already created, exporting the data. This is a soup to nuts platform, so you can create the study, customize it, recruit subjects, and then actually download the data that they create and analyze it for a paper if you wanted. So let me just give you an example of how this works. I'm going to go ahead and just use a pre-post test as the example. I think it's the most straightforward. I'm going to call this pre-post demo. Cool. So it starts me with this about page, which goes into what the pre-post study is, where it comes from, how you can use it in your class, what variables you have available to you, and then the kinds of activities that you can do and what students can do in their for their projects. On the Configure tab, this is where I actually get to configure the pre-post task as I want it, and I'll go into that more in a second. But this is where basically I do the setting up. Once this is ready, I go to the Launch tab. I can test it. So I launch a preview to make sure it looks the way that I want it to, that it works. And then I can just share this public link with anyone in the world. And maybe when you're watching this video, you can go to this link and maybe this is still up. I don't know. Maybe. But when then people participate, you can go to the Data tab and then export the data. So let me just show you. If you're a student or if you're a faculty member wanting to show students how to do these experiments, this is a great one to start off with because it's very straightforward. It's just a survey, then some randomly shown stimuli that you'll choose, and then a post-stimulus survey. So we'll give you some defaults here just to get you started. Here's a multiple choice question. Let's start off with what is your gender identity? And we could say male, female, other. Well, I already have an other. I can delete that one. But now I have my gender question. Let's see. Another multiple choice. So this is a single choice. I can only choose one, male, female, or other. I'm going to control that with these max selections. Here I can choose multiple. So let's see. What is your race? You select all that apply. And so I say, Asian, Black. We'll be political scientists about this, so we'll add Hispanic into the category here. Sociologists separate off as to ethnicity. Let's see, white. Let's add a new one for indigenous. Okay, and move it up. Cool. So now I can select, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to make 6 selections. I have to choose at least one, but I can choose up to 6. Cool. Let me just do one new question type. Prompt. Yeah. Oh no, this is not what I want. I want. No, this will do. This will do. Okay, so this is my first survey. I'm going to ask your male, or I guess your gender. I'm going to ask your race, and then here on the second page, and there's only 3 pages. You can't change the number of pages. But on the third page, or second page, I'm going to give you your stimulus. We're going to randomize these stimuli. So let's see. In this example, let's just say we're going to hire somebody and we're going to vary their race. So we're going to see, would students hire someone who is black versus who is white, given the same characteristics. So, and we're going to signal blackness and whiteness with names. So let's say Jeff is a hard worker who shows up early and stays late. Maybe he burns the oil on both ends. Maybe Jeff's not the greatest worker. But let's see what people would say if instead of Jeff, it is DeAndre. DeAndre is a hard worker who shows up early and stays late. And then for this, let's see. I believe I can remove that one like that. Okay. Cool. So now I'm going to see, and these are, you know what? Let's see. Actually, we'll do a gender one too. So we'll say Sarah for a white woman's name, and we will say Simone. I think Simone is probably black enough, I would think, to be communicative. Okay. All right. Now, this is a very interesting question. Are these names black enough or not? Something you can ask here. So this is the third page. After they've seen the randomly chosen statement, we're going to ask them some follow-up questions. So after seeing the job candidate, how did you feel about the job candidate? So there we go. Here we go. How would you describe the job candidate? Now you can change this matrix table. I'm just using this for convenience sake. Describe the job candidate. So I'd say this candidate was happy, bold, inspired, confident, comfortable. Oops. I don't want to add a column. I want to add a row. Competent. Let's just add another choice. So we're going to ask if you'd hire this person or not. How likely are you to hire this person? Let's do that one. How likely are you to hire this person? Obviously this is not the best way of setting this up. We'd want more of a detail around the kinds of job it is, but this is all for example. So very likely, somewhat likely. I remember my 5-point Likert scales off the top of my head. Let's just do not likely. All right, we're going to delete these. Cool. Only choose one. I can't choose multiple, so we'll change max selections. But that's it. So we're going to save. So I'm going to start off with some questions about my race and my gender. I'm going to see one of these job candidate descriptions, and then we're going to be asked about how I feel about these candidates. So launch preview. Dun, dun, dun. Cool. So what's my gender identity? I'm male. I'm white. That's my only race. Next. So Sarah is a hard worker who shows up early and stays late. So I got the white woman stimulus. How would I describe the job candidate? Sarah's a happy name. Sounds bold, inspired, yada, yada, yada. All right. get the point. I can't click these dots. And I feel like I'm very likely to hire Sarah. Great. Cool. All right. Even got a little achievement. So because this is a demo, it doesn't end automatically. So I go to more games. It'll bring me back here. But now I can go to this public link. This is the real version of the experiment. Again, actually, I'm going to quit out of this. I don't need to show it to you twice. It's going to take me to the volunteer science page because it was the real link. So let me go back to the demo. Oops. There we go. Cool. So now I can go over here, get the data, which I think is, oops, I didn't put in a date. Cool. Oops. Did I include demonstrations? I did. I might have to do the JSON for this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a little bit of data for my couple submissions. Okay. But that's how you get the data. So we're all still working on this. If there are experiments that you want to see, let us know. If there were improvements that you want to see, let us know. We're here to help you teach your students how to do online experiments or just create experiments in general. If you're a psychologist or in general a social scientist using the pre-post or in business using Wildcat Wells or decision-making experiments, we want to hear from you. If you're not, we also want to hear from you. What can we do to offer experiments that work for your students and teach your students how to do online experiments? All right. Thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing from you.